15 Things You Didn't Know About Marc Jacobs. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, dear Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel. Since spring is just around the corner, we thought maybe you feel like letting your expenses blossom in the most luxurious ways this season. And what better way to inspire you than to talk about one of the most famous fashion designers out there, the one and only Marc Jacobs. Born April 9, 1963 in New York, he comes from a non-observant Jewish family that didn't give him the best example to live by, but this didn't stop him from going incredibly far. He even ranked in Time magazine's 2010 Time 100 list of the 100 most influential people in the world. Get ready to be surprised. Here's some ups and downs of this famous designer's life, with the 15 things you didn't know about Marc Jacobs. Number 1. Jacobs lost his father when he was only 7 years old. Marc Jacobs' father was an agent at the William Morris Agency and only 32 years old when he died. As if this were not tragic enough, his mother, who, due to mental illness, hardly took care of her children, remarried several times. Jacobs grew estranged from his family and eventually went to live with his paternal grandmother on the Upper West Side, in an apartment in the Majestic on Central Park West. We can tell this is a delicate subject for Jacobs because he almost never speaks about it, except for one time he did open up about it, and how hard and painful it was for him to lose touch with his sister and brother, which added up to the rest of his teenage struggles. Number 2. He studied at the prestigious Parsons Design College. His interest in fashion design manifested early on, so he attended the High School of Art and Design before he enrolled at Parsons. The boy was gifted, and he proved his worth progressively. In 1984, he won the Perry Ellis Gold Thimble Award, as well as the Chester Weinberg Gold Thimble Award and Design Student of the Year Award. The legend says his grandmother's support was extremely important to him, and what we know for sure is that she was the one to help him knit his first sweaters for his graduation collection while studying at Parsons. This explains why he was devastated when she passed away in 1987. Number 3. He launched his first collection in 1986. In 1986, backed by Onward Kashiyama USA Inc., Jacobs saw his first collection bearing his own name come to light. The next year, Jacobs became the youngest designer to have ever been awarded the fashion industry's highest tribute, the Council of Fashion Designers of America's Perry Ellis Award for New Fashion Talent. Subsequently, he was appointed to the position of creative director for the company after Ellis's death in 1986. He went on to take home the Council of Fashion Designers of America's Women's Designer of the Year Award in 1992. However, he was dismissed from the company that same year after he sent a grunge collection down the traditionally sleek Perry Ellis runway. Number 4. Jacobs was a drug addict. At some point in his career, nightly use of heroin, cocaine, and alcohol fueled his creative process. It was at this time that he designed and produced countless successful collections, but at some point, this tricky lifestyle started putting its destructive fingerprints on the fashion designer. From not showing up to falling asleep at work, from a scandalous lifestyle to getting thrown off airplanes, he was living in chaos. It was thanks to Anna Wintour and Naomi Campbell that Duffy, Jacobs' business partner, intervened and persuaded him to go to rehab in 1999. He experienced a relapse in 2007, for which he re-entered rehab, but thankfully the designer has been clean ever since. Number 5. Marc Jacobs' net worth is $100 million. Working in the fashion industry did not only bring Marc Jacobs fame and glory through all the awards he won, but also money. A lot of it. His estimated net worth is approximately $100 million, which sounds plausible when we're talking about someone who's been selling purses at the price of $38,000 each. We're talking about the Carolyn Crocodile handbag. We know Jacobs has no problem spending a little more to get a little more, so we can only imagine what a luxurious life he must be living. But it all comes down to the well-known question: what would you do with $100 million? Whoa. Number 6. Jacobs' skin is covered in interesting tattoos. Obviously, someone as controversial as Marc Jacobs couldn't possibly be into ordinary ink. His body is covered in cool tattoos, such as a 3D glasses-wearing Elizabeth Taylor as Martha in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, or the Shameless he put on his chest. However, one of the most important tattoos to him is the one on his right wrist saying perfect. He explained that comes from, "I am a perfect being in a perfect world where everything that happens benefits me completely," which is the most important lesson he learned in rehab, which helped him to let go. All of Jacobs' tattoos are done by Scott Campbell, who's also a good friend of the fashion designer. Number 7. He believes in the subtlety of his designs. In comparison with Tom Ford and Gucci, Marc Jacobs described his designs as more inquisitive and psychological, pointing out that they do not align to the societal view of what is sexy. In his own words, there's a first-degree no-brainer definition of what's sexy. But the reality of what it is, what I find more interesting is someone who is more introverted or mysterious. And it's his own vision that brings the twists to the table, which is different from the sleek, polished campaigns he produced under other labels. Number 8. He's reportedly single, but has had an adventurous love life. Not a dull moment with Jacobs, we're telling you. The guy married Lorenzo Martone in St. Bart's, New York in January 2010. The couple denied being married for a while, but eventually pictures of the two and their wedding cake came out. However, a few months later the couple split, and Martone left the couple's Chelsea apartment soon afterwards. In 2012, Marc Jacobs was spotted with a 24-year-old date, the porn star Harry Lewis, at a beach in Rio de Janeiro. What we know for sure is that Jacobs is passionate and literally unable to keep his hands off his partner when in love. Number 9. Jacobs got a morning ritual. It's a well-known fact that Marc Jacobs struggled with some extra pounds, but miraculously got in shape, and that makes him so desirable today. It seems that one of his secrets for maintaining his youth is the way he acts in the morning, step by step. In his own words, "I wake up at 7 a.m. I shower, shave, eat breakfast, and have a double espresso, a cigarette, vitamins, and supplements." Other weird habits that are a part of his ritual are always wearing a kilt with a black or white shirt, as well as always eating 50 grams of oatmeal for breakfast, 2 chicken breasts for lunch, and a drink of juice. Number 10. He worked for Louis Vuitton. Jacobs was named creative director of Louis Vuitton back in January of 1997, where he was tasked with the creation of the house's first ready-to-wear clothing line. At the same time, LVMH also bought a stake in Jacobs' own label, allowing him financial freedom to expand his business. Within the first 10 years of his appointment at Louis Vuitton, Jacobs had quadrupled the company's profits, turning what was solely a luggage firm into a global fashion powerhouse. In spite of that, he didn't get more than "it's fine" as feedback from Arnauld. Jacobs went on to leave Louis Vuitton in 2013 in order to focus on his own line. Want to know more about the majestic brand that is Louis Vuitton nowadays? Why don't you check out our 15 things you didn't know about Louis Vuitton video? It's gonna impress and inspire your luxurious self. Number 11. He loves attention but hates stupid criticism. Marc Jacobs explained on several occasions that he takes great satisfaction when he gets attention after each of his extravagant apparitions. However, he also explains that he's a human and gets hurt too. Jacobs explained that there were only a few journalists he really respected because it was only from them that he received valid, constructive criticism. As for the rest, in Jacobs' own words, he's not so good with stupidity. He says he has a tendency to dismiss invalid feedback and considers this proof of the lack of knowledge and understanding of his creations. Number 12. He starred in a movie. Marc Jacobs took the role of a porn baron in the film Disconnect because it was a friend of his who was directing it and proposed to him to read the lines just to see how he was doing. Eventually, in spite of never having wanted to be an actor, Jacobs got hyped and accepted to play the part. It didn't take long before he realized that spending entire days in the freezing cold as well as repeating the same lines over and over again was just not his cup of tea. Therefore, Disconnect is, according to Marc, the first and last film ever, because he's rather happy with the career he's built for himself. Number 13. Protect the Skin You're In is definitely Jacobs' coolest project. This project consists of a t-shirt collection, which has pictures of celebrities posing nude printed on them. The idea is that celebrities pose with their breasts and frontal areas covered by the words "protect the skin you're in order to raise awareness about melanoma. Celebrities like Victoria Beckham, Miley Cyrus, Kate Upton, Heidi Klum, and Naomi Campbell posed for the collection. The money from sales was donated for research at the NYU Langone Medical Center, which only makes us think that Jacobs has a heart after all. So, have you bought your t-shirt yet? Number 14. Jacobs encourages men to experiment with makeup. I bet you're not surprised to hear that coming from him. He's got an interesting vision regarding gender, believing anything can be for men or women. When he launched his makeup line, Jacobs explained to journalists that 3 of the products were, in his vision, unisex: the lip balm, the brow mousse, and the Remedy concealer. He continued by saying that he always loved the image of a girl putting toenail polish on a guy and imagined a guy waking up in the morning and putting on his girlfriend's shirt. Not to mention, Jacobs himself made an appearance wearing a lace dress at some point in his lifetime. Number 15. He considered working for Dior, but his dream job would be Chanel. After Galliano was hired from Dior, Jacobs considered taking over, but in the end, he changed his mind. An important role in that decision-making process was when his psychiatrist asked him if this was going to improve his life, and his answer was negative. What would upgrade the quality of his life, though, would be working for Chanel. In his own words, Chanel would be the scariest job in the world to get, but it would also be the coup de grace. It seems that Jacobs simply is one of those people who goes for the thrill. As you can see, Marc Jacobs is another example of hard work and discipline that managed to get over his life difficulties and turn the odds in his favor. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and share it with your fashion-loving friends. Now, our question for you today is, what do you think about Marc Jacobs' encouragement towards men experimenting with makeup? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're still here, because of course you are, enjoy your bonus fact. Number 16. Marc Jacobs' mindset is so inspiring. Marc Jacobs described himself as present-minded, explaining that the moment is now, and that's where safety and comfort and all that good stuff is. He never compares himself to anyone else because he just needs to stick to his own path and stay in the moment the best he can. And according to him, he desires more from life. More of all. Have more sex, eat more food, go to the gym more often, do more collections, have a manicure, buy more art, see more art. What's more, he considers that he hasn't made it yet, and that most of his glorious days are yet to come. All this from a guy whose net worth is $100 million. Feeling inspired yet, Aluxers? Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.